Hey, diys-by-dar, and this week the Flippin Bunch, which I am a member of, is hosting the Layered Stencil Challenge. So let's get into this one. I found this beautiful solid maple cabinet bedside table that I'm going to flip. And it is super duper shiny. So I am going to go ahead and scuff sand this with my surf prep and 100 grit sandpaper. Now I am going to tape off the drawer all the way around and some other areas along the back and inside that drawer cavity. And this needed a little repair with some caulking. It's always a little bit better if you have a slight crack in an area inside a cabinet to fill it with some caulk so you don't get those dark areas where it is open. So that's what I had to do, and I'm going to get that caulk in there and I am going to smooth that out with my finger. Then I will follow up with just cleaning it a little bit with a wet paper towel around the outside. I have some Dixie Belle Slick Stick. It is now called Bonding Boss, so Slick Stick is no longer available, but I did have some left. It was quite thick, so I was able to go ahead and give this a pretty nice coat with just one pass on all the areas that I plan to paint. There it is. I'm going to leave the drawer and the drawer slot the wood. I have some silk paint from Dixie Belle, which is all-in-one, and this color was called Endless Shore, but I did mix another color with it that was a silk paint to give me enough paint. And it's just slightly a creamy white, not such a bright white. It's hard to see the transition, but 2 coats of this on all the areas that I wanted painted. And here are the stencils that I'm going to use. Some ginkgo leaves. My first stencil is a small one, all for a background along both sides. You can't really see it until it dries because it is such a subtle transition to a light green. My second stencil and color, I am going to use this spray to help hold my stencil on because it has such fine areas that I know if I hit that with a stencil brush, they're going to move. So I sprayed that, and then I'm going to roll that down so it stays in place a bit better. And I have some Amy Howard all-in-one paint in a green color, and I am going to go ahead and pounce. I had to use a pouncer. It takes a bit more time because of how I did not want these little sections to move. I had to go from a really perpendicular angle and pounce that downward, and let's see what I get here. That turned out quite well, pretty pleased. So we will go ahead and get on to stencil number 3, color number 3. I learned from my friend Lel at Made by Marley, if you use some of your base color and mix it with another color, the colors of your stenciling will blend in a bit better. So I have yellow ochre and my base, and the yellow ochre was acrylic. And remember, I still have my all-in-one paint. So these are basically more of an acrylic, and they'll stay, and you should not have to put a top coat over them. So this stencil, let's take a look and see what we've got. That turned out pretty great. Happy with that. Number 4, stencil 4, 4th color. Here I have some burnt sienna, and my base color, and I'm going to mix this up. And it came out maybe almost a little pinkish, but that was all right. I was okay with the color of what this was. I'm going to get my other stencil down and get this one pounced out. Now, using the all-in-one paint and acrylic paint will make this solid enough where you do not have to put a top coat on this. So here is this one, and we'll see how this turned out. Looking good. I am going to go ahead and get to my 5th stencil and my next color, which basically was my base with some of the green that I used. And pouncing it once again, and these stencils I sprayed them all because of the small articulations on the stencil so they would stay in place. And that looks good, and I'm just going to repeat some of the colors and taper these leaves up to the top. The big leaf at the top, I just mixed the colors and turned out great. I know you can't see that light color, but it's there. Now, triple thick. I am still going to put a top coat of polyurethane on the top, the front of the drawer, and the bottom inside of the cabinet with 2 coats of this to help with durability. Feed and wax. I'm going to revive this wood on the inside of the drawer and put some beeswax along the wooden rails so this drawer moves a bit more smoothly and looks better and smells clean and fresh on the inside. I save any of the waxing for last because if it gets on any of your paint, you can wipe it off easy instead of making a type of an oil stain on your surface. And remember what I started with, that old yellow 60s looking cabinet, and this was what I turned it into, clean and fresh. Let's take a look. I want to thank the Flippin' Bunch for hosting the challenge. I am a member of the Flippin' Bunch. We are live every Wednesday night at 7. And thank you so much for bringing the layered stencil challenge for us to do. And thank you so much for watching. Please give me a sub. I need all the help I can get. Next weekend, I'm going to show the sister cabinet to this with a different design.